making fun of the arts. We're grandkids and we're playing a part. We're grandkids and we're rocking through school. We love the arts 'cause they are cool. It started first in carriage times and through the Model T. And thanks to proud citizens, she's still here for me. The curtain's up on a new stage of life for us. Don't hold us back, we're ready to bust. We'll grab our friends and our hopes and our dreams. Come on, let's jump on the bus. We're grandkids making fun of the arts. We're grandkids and we're playing a part. We're grandkids and we're rocking through school. We love the arts 'cause they are cool.
Welcome to the GrandKids Arts Education Series. GrandKids is an arts education program created by Mercer University for Central Georgia students.
We love the arts 'cause they are cool.
Hey GrandKids, I'm Ben Jones, Chief Meteorologist at 13 WMAZ and your host for your upcoming field trip to the Grand Opera House to see Magic School Bus Live. Now today, we're down in Fort Valley, Georgia at Bluebird headquarters. Get this, where 35% of school buses in North America are made. Now, like all good businesses, Bluebird is constantly thinking about ways to make their buses safer and more efficient. Now, who can tell me what efficient means? I'm going to give you 3 definitions and you tell me which one's right. A, it's one of my favorite pastimes on the weekend. I get my efficient pole and I go efficient. Or B, it's the sound you make when you sneeze. It's efficient. Or C, it's when you make or do something without wasting time or energy. Well, which one is it? If you guess C, you're right. Right about now, I'm going to introduce you to 2 guys I know really well. Willie Wasteful and Eddie Efficient. When the bus comes to its stop, Eddie Efficient hops up and immediately gets off the bus. Willie Wasteful acts a lot like a slug. He hangs out at his seat, checks his watch, scratches his ear, counts his pencils, and he finally moseys over to get off the bus. If you're efficient with your time, you make like Eddie and get right up off the bus. You can also be efficient with energy. I mean, how many times has somebody told you to turn off the lights? Well, Eddie has a neat little trick to help him remember. Turn the lights out. Don't make the sun pout. Be a good scout. Turn the light out. Turn the lights out. Don't make the sun pout. Be a good scout. Turn the light out. Turn the lights out. Don't make the sun pout. Be a good scout. Turn the light out. Turn the lights out. Don't make the sun pout. Be a good scout. Turn the light out. Turn the lights out. Don't make the sun pout. Be a good scout. Turn the light out. Meanwhile, Willie Wasteful's mama is always telling him, Willie, turn the lights out. Willie is wasteful and doesn't care, and he isn't clever enough to come up with a rhyme to help him remember, so he leaves the lights on. At the end of the month, the energy bill comes in, and his mama has a fit. Willie! Are you more like Eddie or Willie? What are some ways that you are already efficient with energy and time in your classroom? What are some ways you can improve your efficiency at school? Now, school buses are super efficient. Every single school day, there are 480,000 school buses on the roads in the United States, carrying over 25 million students to and from school. Most buses carry 54 students each. Now, it would take 36 cars to get all those kids to school when it takes only 1 bus to do the same thing. Students who ride the bus to school save 345,600,000 miles of car travel. That saves 17.3 million cars from driving carpool every day. On top of that, school buses are designed to be safer than cars. And they're also being designed with cutting-edge science to be more efficient and better for the environment. Here at Bluebird, they make buses that use the same kind of diesel that powers some people's cars. They also make buses that use alternative fuels. The Vision line of buses is powered by propane. That's the same fuel that powers many outdoor grills, camping stoves, and heating systems in houses and buildings. Propane is a byproduct of natural gas processing and oil refining. Propane is not only good for the environment, but it's very safe. Byproducts can be very efficient because they're produced by a process of producing something else. For instance, the byproduct of me sitting in this seat is I just got shorter. Food is the fuel that makes our bodies run. Now, there are other fuels that make engines and machines run. There are fossil fuels that are basically a type of recycling. Now, when plants and animals die and decay, they break down and become fossil fuels like gasoline, oil, and coal. Then there are alternative fuels. These are fuels that have some natural component, but through special processes they are made more efficient. Some examples of alternative fuels include propane, compressed natural gas, methanol, and ethanol. Alternative fuels also include solar, wind, and hydroelectric power. The all-American bus line manufactured by Bluebird uses compressed natural gas, nicknamed CNG. Compressed means squeezed into a very tight space. CNG is environmentally friendly, so it's safe for you and the environment. Now, when it comes to the environment, efficiency is only part of the equation. The other force, good old Mother Nature. Now, the weather and climate where you live affects you every day. It helps you determine things like, what am I going to wear? Am I going to use heat or air conditioning? Or even if you can go outside and play. Can any of you tell me the difference between weather and climate? Climate is the overall generalized weather conditions of an area. Now, for central Georgia, the climate is generally a little cold and mild without much snow. If you lived in upper New York State or North Dakota, the climate this time of year would be much colder and very, very snowy. Weather is a scientific description of the atmosphere at a specific time based on observations by people or machines. You know, is it hot or cold? Wet or dry? Calm or stormy? Is the sky cloudy or clear? Now, I report the weather on the news every night, but you can play weathercaster today. Well, what's the weather like now? What was it like yesterday? What's changed between the weather yesterday and the weather today? That's going to leave a mark. That magic school bus is cool. Now we're in the weather center. If you like talking and thinking about weather and climate, you may want to study meteorology in college like I did and grow up to be a weathercaster. The weather is always changing, depending on which season we're in, and of course, depending on where you live on Earth. Wow, it is a magic school bus. I'm back in it again. Hey, who knows what constructive means? Well, construction means to add to or to improve. There are constructive forces in nature that add to or build up the land. Now, which of these would be a constructive force of nature? A force that is positive for the earth? Is it A, a tornado, B, a volcano, or C, a flood? The answer is B, a volcano. When volcanoes erupt, they cause damage, but what you're left with is new land. Sometimes new islands or land masses like the Hawaiian Islands. Earthquakes are also considered positive forces of nature because they build land mass. Now, destructive forces of nature subtract by destroying the land or tearing it down. All this talk is making me tired. Tired? Which of these is a destructive force of nature? Is it A, a waterfall, B, a rainbow, or C, the ocean tides? Waterfalls are beautiful, but they are destructive forces of nature. They erode the rocks below and feed the growth of moss and other parasitic organisms. Rivers, oceans, and the wind are all destructive forces. They erode land and rock that is all part of a natural process of weathering. You ever leave a bike or a toy outside for a long time? You ever notice any changes in it? Did the paint color fade? Did rain cause it to rust? Or did the hot summer weather crack or warp it? If you noticed any of these changes, you noticed examples of weathering. Oh, hey, this is my bus stop. I gotta get up out of here. I gotta head back to the Grand Opera House to get ready for Magic School Bus Live. You're gonna love it because it's got a lot of great songs, a fun storyline, and you learn more about efficiency, climate, weather, all sorts of things. Before I go, I want to thank Bluebird in Fort Valley for letting me explore this school bus. And of course, we thank the Medical Center of Central Georgia for sponsoring Magic School Bus Live. See you at the Grand.